Welcome back to another episode of Java Jargon, powered by Avalon Technologies, the podcast where we talk tech meets real talk. I'm your host, Dan Gribble, and in this episode, we're diving deep into the intersection of education and innovation with a guest who's been helping shape the future of learning with technology for over a decade. Joining us is Zach Riley-Kelley, an Executive Director of Technology Services at Birmingham Public Schools here in Metro Detroit, whose career spans more than 15 years of empowering educational institutions through transformative tech solutions. With a master's degree in education focused on educational business administration, Zach brings a unique blend of strategic insight and hands-on experience to the conversation, from navigating the evolving landscape of EdTech to building resilient digital infrastructure for schools. Zach shares his journey, lessons learned, and what it really takes to lead technology services in today's educational world. So grab your coffee, plug in, and let's decode the jargon with someone who's fluent in both tech and educational landscape. Welcome to the podcast, Zach. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dan. Excited to be here.
Zach, thank you so much for jumping on with us. Are you able to start by telling us a little bit about your background and how you got into IT leadership?
Sure, yeah. I actually started in IT support for schools as a student, as a junior in high school, through a co-op class. A couple hours of the day helping bring the old laptop carts down to classrooms and set up the one wireless access point that we had for the whole school and projectors and stuff. So ever since then, I haven't stopped, essentially. So I've worked my way up through the ranks. I've held every position you can imagine, to eventually lead myself to this point as the director of technology here in Birmingham Public Schools. And, it's really exciting. I had some great leaders along the way that helped me to shape my career and my stance and my approach to doing this. So molding all those pieces together kind of led me to the director I am today.
Great. Zach, can you share with us what a typical day is like for you as a IT director for a school district?
Yeah, they're really a mix of a lot of strategy, but also some problem solving and people. So like any traditional leader, you have your people you have to work with, but then you also add in the piece of, planning strategy for short and long-term tech initiatives, and then also the break fix that falls on our shoulders as well. So I really oversee everything from cybersecurity to a lot of the physical security systems, the classroom technology, software and hardware, printers, security cameras, anything that plugs into the wall probably falls under our responsibility here. So we really try to balance that out, but we also keep the district's mission in mind is the most important. So really the main reason that I know that we're here is making teaching easier for the teacher and learning easier for the students. So as long as we keep that in the forefront as well, trying to balance all of those pieces.
Yeah, there's a lot on your plate, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it's changing every day.
Absolutely.
Always evolving in technology, right? I mean, just thinking back to, Zach, you mentioned that this kind of goes all the way back to your, sophomore, junior in high school that you said?
Junior high school.
Where you really got started. I'm curious to know, what is one piece of technology or an innovation that first inspired you to want to pursue this type of career?
I think, honestly, for me, it was access. So I grew up in Hazel Park, not a very affluent community, and many of us didn't have computers outside of the ones that school provided to us, and didn't experience any kind of tech other than what we did at school. So really learning from that and then following it through all the different levels of my career and the places we work, I feel like consistent and reliable and quality access to technology is a trend that no matter where you are is always an issue, and something I try to keep at the forefront, that every kid should be able to experience all these different platforms to help them decide where they want to go in life. I share one anecdote kind of often about exposing kids to different types of tech is, my wife also, we went to high school together. I had a little more exposure just given my work in the field, but she's a regular student. So in Hazel Park, we were an all-Mac district growing up, right? So again, the only technology exposure you had was at school. So when she went off to Michigan State University, went to the computer lab to write her first essay with PC computer, and she called me. She's like, I literally don't know how to turn this thing on. had never touched a Windows computer in her whole life before because our school was Mac and that's all she ever had. So again, just like keeping that different kinds of exposure in mind to keep kids prepared for whatever's going to come to them next in the world.
That's so interesting. I'm the opposite. I don't know how to work a Mac. Like, even today, and I don't even have an iPhone and everything. But to your point, Zach, learning so different now, right? Not just know the technology, but just all the devices, the different interface and different, sources. It can be overwhelming for people, right? Especially for the kids now. So great that you're keeping it for your kids, have all the different, have different opportunities to try different technologies that's out there.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to keep that really forefront of us, and you never know where a kid's going to go in life. And our job in public schools is to make them college and career ready, right? So that's something I say all the time. And college ready is knowing how to navigate is the Google Suite, Office 365, Mac, Windows, Chromebooks.
Different flavors out there. Exactly.
Yeah, and I feel like probably now more than ever, you think about the impact that the technology is having on kids and what their future is, right? So, I mean, just all the initiatives and things that you're doing, I mean, it sounds like you guys are really focusing a lot of attention on preparing kids for the future for that stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
So I know that there's, a lot of talk about different IT initiatives and, understanding what the future holds for you guys. Can you share some of the recent IT initiatives or maybe some of the digital transformation projects that you've been especially proud of?
Yes, actually, one that's very exciting that very recently kind of wrapped up is we partnered with Volkswagen Group of America and a Public Education Foundation group out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, to build these, they call them BWE labs. So we were able to get a $1.8 million grant from Volkswagen. We partnered with Southfield Schools on this as well to put essentially these really, really high quality STEM labs in every one of our elementary schools. So kids have exposure to real professional software, multiple 3D printers, laser engravers, vinyl cutters, heat presses, chomp saws, all these tools to, like you said, to prepare them for what's next in life. So we're the only school district in Michigan, and actually even kind of the northeast region of the country, that has these labs from Volkswagen in there. So we're really proud of that partnership. And the thought process is, well, while the kids are learning to use these specific tools, it's really preparing their way of thinking for whatever jobs we don't even know exist yet, right? That may come in the future. So again, problem solving, project-based learning, teamwork, creativity, using technology for creativity. It's preparing them with that mindset of it. And then we're tying it really into our curriculum too. So for example, in our ELA curriculum recently, our fourth graders were learning about, while learning to read, they were learning about the heart, the physical and the emotional heart, both literal and figurative heart. So students got to learn about the heart through their process of learning how to read. And then they got to go into the E-Lab and 3D print actual anatomical heart to see how the pieces fit together. And then they did another project where they 3D printed what the heart means to them from an emotional level. So they were able to see it from both sides of the spectrum, while also tying the ELA curriculum and bringing everything together. So we're really excited about these labs and what they might mean for our kids down the line.
That's cool.
That's really exciting. And that kind of brings to the next questions, right? So what are some of the biggest challenges that your team has to face today? Whether it's budget or cybersecurity, talent, or something else? Since you have all these different projects that you're working on, so it's not going to be easy, right? So
no, absolutely, and you really hit the nail on the head, Joni, with that one. It's a budget. At schools in general are just facing tighter and tighter restraints of budget, and it's getting harder and harder every day. So, like you said, the demands are growing on us, not just in tech, but in the school in general. So everybody's fighting for those resources. And then especially with the advent of I guess the growth of our cybersecurity concerns in recent time. Education, we're the number 2 most targeted industry in the country right now. And it's because they caught us flat-footed, right? It's not something that we really had to worry about before. So now we're kind of playing catch up with those major strain on resources. Like, we can't compete with banks and healthcare on the resource behind cybersecurity. So we're really doing our best with this brand new, incredible expense and incredible responsibility to us, trying to defend ourselves out there with that. So I guess both tie hand in hand. I guess the budget and cybersecurity are our biggest challenges.
And I think finding these opportunities to partner with like Volkswagen, like you mentioned, are amazing for the district to be able to take advantage of those opportunities that ultimately just bring this great wealth of learning to the students at the end of the day. So you guys should be really proud of yourselves for that.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. I wish I had the opportunity when I was in school, right?
I was lucky if I had a crayon to eat. So Zach, as you talked about what you guys are doing today. So thinking, 3, 5, 10 years ahead, right, for the district, what do you guys, are there technologies that are currently starting to emerge that you guys are keeping a close eye on, right? What does that look like if we look 3, 5, 10 years?
Yeah, I think the biggest things we're really trying to keep an eye on is adaptive learning solutions.
Yeah.
Right? We really try to make sure every student has equitable access to the curriculum and whatnot, and how technology can help that. It's not anything new, but it's something that is technology like AI is a great opportunity to help and give those kids access. So with that, and then just AI as a whole, obviously, is a big concern for us in all schools, really. Just what it might look like in 5, 10 years from now, and how
Absolutely.
we probably can't even imagine what might be out there at that time. And then just really other ways that we can keep our kids safe online, I think, is the biggest thing too.
So important. Yeah.
It's so important. That is the dangerous place for our young people, is the internet. There's a great book called The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt that I recommend any parent of a child read, regardless of their age. It talks about how the advent of social media really rewired our students' brains, I guess, but then it also talks about where we should be focusing our effort to keep our kids safe. So like one anecdote that he uses is like, we won't let our kids walk around the block without us being there watching them. But like, when's the last time you checked their Instagram messages?
Oh, yeah.
Or their phone stuff? And the likelihood of something bad happening to them in your neighborhood, it physically is almost zero now. Like in 2026, that is really not where the predators lie. It is on the internet, and it is because it's just so much easier for them to meet the great masses. So really trying to find ways that we can help, one, while at school, but also parents try to keep their kids safe on the internet, for sure.
Yeah, that's so important. Yeah, like I can see that a lot of the risks that you don't see is now on daily is really the online, and the parents are maybe just not even aware of, right? So
Absolutely,
yeah. So look at all this different technology and all this stuff, and how do you evaluate, a new technology that's really worth your time and effort to look into, to invest in that for the school?
I think for us, it really has to solve a real world, like instructional problem or an operational problem. It can just be a trend or look cool or sound cool, like especially now with the limited budgets and limited capacity to support different things. Really anything that we invest in has to be like practical and solve a problem for us, or also align with our goals and strategic plan. So, there's a million different ed tech softwares out there that you'll see pop up. We can do this, we can do that, but like, is it aligned with the standards is the most important thing, which many are not. Do we have another way of doing this, or our structured way of teaching, math units or whatever? Does it follow our plan and our structure is most important.
Yeah, so definitely have to be a value add, right? Technology to you. Yeah, makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned structure, and certainly I feel like that's a big role in schools and maintaining not only the structure with the students and how academics is followed, but also understanding the structure that you keep within your team. How are some of the ways that you try to build and maintain a strong IT culture in a extremely fast changing environment with technology?
Yeah, it comes down to the people that you have on your team. Absolutely, they're the most important ones. I focus, I think, on building trust with my team. I give them a lot of trust. I try not to second guess as much as I can and give them an opportunity to shine and problem solve and think creatively, recognizing them when they do a great job, but also talking and being honest. I think it's really important to give people honest feedback. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything incredibly wrong, but we all can grow. My boss gives me feedback often. It comes from a place of trust and wanting people to be successful, and really also reminding our IT team. It's easy for staff like us on the operational side of the district, and how our work connects back to student success.
Yeah.
Right? You can get bogged down in the grind of replacing screens on broken Chromebooks and whatnot, but to really remind and recenter on some kind of regular basis how important these pieces are to the student success is I think really important to having a good team. And it's also who you add to your team too, right? People need IT people now, especially in schools, but I assume in other industries. They got to be adaptive. They got to have great communication, creativity, and curiosity. It's almost more important than the technical skills, if I'm honest. It's customer service first and foremost of all the thing, and knowing why you're here. And if especially with the advent of tech and AI, if you don't know how to fix a specific thing, you can easily Google that, right, and find directions on how to find it. It's how you approach the problem, how you approach the people having the problem, and then your willingness to be creative and be curious and try to find the answer no matter what it is, because it's out there.
That's so true. That's so true. So Zach, last question for you. And, for our podcast, a lot has to do with leadership, right? And obviously, as we've gone through today, you've demonstrated you're a pretty awesome leader. What advice would you give to aspiring IT leaders, right? Guys that are maybe, coming up the ranks and want to eventually get to your level?
Yeah, I'd say especially if you get to this level, it's people first, right? So you have to build relationships. You have to stay curious. You got to lead with empathy. And of course, knowing the technology, but kind of keep circling back to it, but knowing why you're doing the technology. It's students first, right? Especially in K-12, you have to have a clear purpose. So knowing why you're doing what you're doing. And like in Birmingham, for example, every decision boils down to, is this what's best for kids at the end of the day? And you have to keep that at the forefront of your mind. And if you keep that in the forefront of your mind, I'd say thinking like that is rare for tech leaders. We have around here in Oakland County, we have a lot of great leaders, I think, that do think like that. And that's why they've gotten to that level, and myself included. And that's clear from a district perspective, right? They want all leaders to share the same mission that, it's kids first, and it's every single kid first, and no matter what we got to do to help them. And that does tie back to the security cameras and the data center that Avalon helped us put in. You need to have reliable technology for our kids to be successful. So, while it's not flashy right in front of the kids, it is part of the bigger mission of, if the classroom is down, that's 50 minutes of instructional time that the first grade teacher is missing with those kids, and then you're never going to get that back. And it all ties back to keeping kids at the forefront.
It's amazing.
Man, Zach, I'll tell you what, this has been an absolute pleasure to have you on. I just, hearing the way that you talk about, education and the impact that it has on the students and the importance of it, and, all the different things that you guys are doing, it's phenomenal to hear. And I'm really excited that we have people like you that are dedicated to the kids' future, because I'll tell you what, I look at today's society, and, it's certainly something that makes me think that, the impact of technology on this younger generation, we see that what you guys are doing, there is a bright future ahead of us. So
yeah, I can definitely hear. Yeah, I can definitely hear your passion, your dedication, and this makes me so excited to see. Hey, there are still people there trying to do good, right, for the society, for our community, for our kids. So they're our future. So so happy to learn so much from you today.
Yeah, kids are in definitely good hands.
For sure.
Well, I'm excited to also kind of follow some of these initiatives that you guys are working on. I think that end with Volkswagen sounds awesome. So
I want to learn more about that too. That's really exciting.
yeah, hopefully we can continue to get some updates for you. But, we do thank you for your time and appreciate having you on the podcast. And, hopefully you can continue to follow us as we follow you and everything that you guys got going on at Birmingham.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you again for the opportunity.
Perfect. Thank you.
For your time.
Thank you.
All right.